Have you ever been on a project where the code was perfect, all the tests were green, but the project, well, it still felt like it was on fire? Yeah, we've all been there. It is so frustrating. And you know what? The problem usually isn't in the code, it's in the conference room. Today, we're diving into the ISTQB Advanced Syllabus to master the single most overlooked part of test management, the people. So, how are we going to tackle this? Well, first, we'll get into why these people problems are actually project risks. Then, we'll figure out who the key players are that you absolutely need on your side. After that, I'm going to show you a seriously powerful tool to manage all those relationships. We'll even put your new skills to the test with a couple of real-world scenarios, and I'll leave you with a final thought that'll give you a huge strategic advantage. Exactly. We're moving beyond just bug reports and code commits. We're talking about the human element. The conversations, the misunderstandings, the conflicts that happen in meetings or over Slack. Believe it or not, this is where projects are so often won or lost. And as test managers, we have to be masters of this domain. So I want you to really think about this for a second. How is it possible that a project with rock-solid code and fantastic test coverage can still completely fly off the rails? What's the hidden variable that we're missing? And there it is. That's the key. The ISTQB syllabus makes this crystal clear. The biggest risks to your project, they're things like team conflict, unclear requirements, or just a general lack of buy-in from the right people. This means your job as a test manager has to evolve. It's not just about finding bugs anymore. It's about managing the entire ecosystem of quality, and that ecosystem is made of people. Okay, so to manage that ecosystem, you first got to know who the key players are. And that brings us right to the heart of today's topic, your stakeholders. Now, stakeholder isn't just some empty corporate buzzword. The syllabus gives it a really specific meaning. These are the people you as a test manager need to actively identify, understand, and engage with. Figuring out who they are, what they care about, and what they need from you is the absolute bedrock of a successful test strategy. And this is where it gets tricky, right? Because the project manager is staring at the calendar. The product owner is laser-focused on their favorite new feature. And the end users, they just want an app that actually works. The thing is, they're all right, but they're all pulling in different directions. Your job is to be the conductor of this orchestra and somehow get them all to play in harmony towards one single vision of quality. So how do you conduct that orchestra without totally losing your mind? You need a tool. And luckily, the syllabus gives us a brilliant one, the power interest matrix. Okay, this little grid is your secret weapon. It is so simple, but so incredibly powerful. For people with high power and high interest, the syllabus calls them promoters, you manage them closely. These are your allies. Keep them in the loop on everything. Now, the high power, low interest folks, you just need to keep them satisfied. Think high-level dashboards, not nitty-gritty reports. For low power but high interest people, keep them informed. Their feedback is gold. And finally, low power, low interest, just monitor them. Don't waste your energy or theirs with info they don't need. So why is this a game changer for you? Well, the syllabus points out 3 huge benefits. First, it makes sure you're getting the right kind of feedback from the right people, like performance insights from your engineers or usability feedback from actual users. Second, it's like a crystal ball for risk management, helping you spot trouble before it even starts. And third, it guarantees your test strategy is rock solid because it's built on a whole range of valuable perspectives, not just your own. All right, theory is great, but let's see how this actually works in the real world. I'm going to throw a couple of classic exam-style scenarios at you so you can try applying the matrix yourself. Okay, scenario 1. Picture a group of really dedicated end users. They love the product, they're super active on the community forums, they report every little bug they find. They have incredibly high interest, but they have zero control over the budget. They're low power. So what's your play here? How do you handle them? If you were thinking, keep informed, you nailed it. These are the people on the front lines. They're using your product day in and day out. Their feedback on what works and what's frustrating is pure gold for your testing efforts. You absolutely want them in your user acceptance testing, you want to send them surveys, you want to make them feel heard. All right, ready for another one? This time think about a senior VP. They have a ton of influence. They could probably shut down your project with a single email. But they have very little interest in the tiny details of your test cases. They just want to know if the project's on track. What's your primary goal with them? This one is all about tailoring your communication. The answer is keep satisfied. You give them that 30,000-foot view. Show them a clean, green dashboard. Connect what you're doing directly to business goals and risk mitigation. Whatever you do, do not bury them in a pile of bug reports. Your job is to give them confidence, not details. So let's bring this all home with the most important point. Mastering stakeholder management, this is not a soft skill. It is a core strategic competency. It's what separates a good test manager from a truly great one. And hey, that's not just my opinion. The ISTQB syllabus itself calls the stakeholder matrix a strategic tool. It's not a nice-to-have. It's a fundamental part of building a test strategy that actually delivers business value and manages real-world risk. So I'm going to leave you with a challenge. When you get back to your desk, I want you to think about your current project. Who is the most influential stakeholder you need to connect with? And based on what we've talked about, what's the right way to approach them? Answering that question isn't just a homework assignment. It's your first real step toward becoming a more strategic and effective test leader.